Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Mad Rapper Show. I'm your host, the Mad Rapper. I am so daring to get on this video camera and say the things I'm about to say after an atrocious event I've witnessed on the YouTube Music Awards. I will be shot in the street for the words I'm about to utter. YouTube is my employer, and I respect them. But that shit, I give them no props for that shit. Like, from beginning to end, it was a representation of what not to do if you trying to hold, like, some music awards. The shit was garbage. It was like a fucking just pedestrian attempt at a show. It was fucking horrible. Like, you would think with all the intel they had on how to do a good show, they would play it by the book and make that shit nice. But unfortunately, that shit was like a blueprint of what not to do. And you might be wondering, you might not be savvy in this and be like, I mean, a normal viewer would watch this shit and be like, oh, this sucks, and turn that shit off. Look, from a production standpoint, from beginning to end, it sucked. The downtime between the acts and the host getting their act together sucked. It was too much downtime. The host sucked. The only good thing about having these hosts was the guy with the hair that was playing the musical shit. He was the coolest thing. Like, he was a show of his own. That motherfucker rocked. Now, the white dude that was with him, he was pretty funny, but not without a script. It was like, I didn't want to hear them talk. All I wanted to see them do is the black dude get on the machine and the white dude play the drums. Those were the coolest times. And when they had the little back and forth, garbage. Niggas would do that shit if they wasn't famous and never be famous. Like, after seeing that, nobody would pick them motherfuckers up to do shit. The shit was not funny. And you got all these sources where you can look and see how it should happen, how it should go down. You got the Grammys, you got the fucking, the MTV Music Awards. You can see how to put the production together right. YouTube went out on a limb and did their own thing, and and it was good they did it. It was good, but if it ever happens again, I hope they learn from their mistake, because this shit was garbage. I mean, seriously, this shit was garbage. And I'm appalled, because why did you make me watch all that before Eminem came on? Like, I took it as a serious, like, these niggas tried to punk me. Like, I'm watching this shit, looking at it like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this shit? And then finally, after that long ass shit, I get to see Eminem rock. Nigga, y'all got me fucked up for that shit. This shit was wrong. It was wrong. It was wrong. It was wrong. This shit was garbage. This shit was garbage. I'll never watch that shit again. Like, it came right, like, after it was over, it came on again, and I immediately drop-kicked my computer to turn that shit off. I didn't even push the button. I drop-kicked with both feet to turn that shit off. Shit was garbage, and I should have hooked up my camera and filmed me watching that shit, because that would be more entertaining than watching that shit yourself. Just watch another nigga watch that shit and look at my facial expressions as I'm watching that shit, because that shit was stupid. All of it stupid, except for Eminem, and except for, I think his name is Reggie, the dude that was on the motherfucking machine, like, making the music. Nigga, what the fuck was YouTube thinking about? I'm pretty sure after the first few acts, people was like, dude, is this a fucking spoof? I'm sitting there the whole time thinking, is this a spoof? When Lady Gaga was performing, I was like, Lady Gaga is ugly as shit. Like, no wonder she be having all that theatrical shit at her shows. Lady Gaga is like the spokesperson for girls that are ugly being somebody. Like, she should have a whole campaign saying, look at me, I'm Lady Gaga and I'm fucking ugly, and look where I'm at, because that bitch is ugly. I was looking at that shit like, dude, is she spoofing herself? Like, is this a spoof on Fame? Her performance was horrible. She sounded like shit. I was like, is this what this bitch sounds like when you just hear her through a mic? Or is she spoofing her voice too? Not only is she spoofing her fame, she was spoofing her voice. The Mad Rapper ad-libs his shows, because I'm doing this shit for YouTube, so a motherfucker in his house, in his drawers, can click on my shit and get a laugh from a nigga with no script. Now, when you got 1 million plus motherfuckers done subscribe to some shit, wanting to see some shit, and all they've been force-fed for years is MTV, the Grammys, you cannot have a whack-ass, half-ass performance like that. The host fucked it up. Like the downtime from performances to cut to the host, it was just like excruciating for me. Because I'm somewhat of a perfectionist. And so I'm watching this like, dude, you got millions of people watching this. Trust me, if I had 1 million, if I had 18 million subscribers right now, I would have a script for this show. Unless my fans were saying, keep it 100, keep it like you always did. That's why we love you. YouTube fucked up, dude. They would have to come on tomorrow and say this was a spoof of everything you've seen before. That's why it was so shitty. The whole thing was fucked. The whole thing was shitty. I didn't like any performance but Eminem's, and no, I'm not being biased. His shit, you could tell he had creative control over that, where it wasn't no extra bells and whistles. It was legit, and he got his point across, and that was it. All the other people got fucked tonight. Lady Gaga got fucked. Tyler, the Creator, they got fucked. They got fucked. That shit was garbage anyway. That shit would have been garbage if it was some theatrical shit happened. But all the motherfucking shit you seen on that shit was shit. Exactly shit. So if you have not seen the YouTube Music Awards, do something else. Don't watch that shit. I'd go wash my car over fucking watching that shit. I'd go walk my dog over watching that shit. I would kill myself over watching that shit. That shit was garbage, son. Garbage. What the fuck did I just watch? What the fuck was that? Now, if you agree with me, or if you don't, comment below and let me know. This is the Bad Rapper, and I'm out. And I hope they don't fire me for this shit.